Dark, sorry. So let's talk about my therapy work for a minute because, well, actually, let's start with this. Ma'am, you came back. Good to see you. This is what I talk about when I say, are you from God? Because I made my videos and then you pop up with like 10 subscribers and you're saying everything that's been written in my journals recently. You know, I made a video and I mean it resonates heavy. Yeah, it's just the resonation, you know. Oh. Anyway, nice to see you, ma'am. Sorry you're always going through struggles on your channel. All right. Anyways, I was in therapy yesterday and it brought me back to something I said to someone. I forget what your channel name is, and I haven't seen you in years now. But you had said that you did EMDR and it worked really well for you. And I was like, it didn't work for me. And I went on to say that the reasons why I didn't think it worked for me, which was at the time that I originally tried EMDR, which I've tried it again since, and it worked briefly, but the person that was doing it wasn't really trained fully on it. I was kind of like her little test dummy. Anyway, the reason that EMDR did not work for me the first time that I tried it, I'm trying to make cat food and talk at the same time and hold this phone, but it's gotta work. The reason it didn't work before is because I had not done enough work. Okay. At the time that I originally tried it, it's like 2011, 2012, 2013. I was pregnant with Natanya at some point. And everything, everything that was wrong with me was me. You know what I'm saying? I did this, I did that. Taking a lot of ownership for the things that were going on. Not realizing, at that point I hadn't understood like what my emotional age was for certain things, okay? Because I'm emotionally intelligent, but not in all areas, right? So not having an understanding of that, not having any grasp or understanding on the trauma that I experienced at the time. This is why EMDR did not work for me at first. So recently, I'm about to start EMDR again. But when we go through the questions, the difference in the groundwork, but it took a lot of years to get there. Because again, I just said that was 2013. It took like 10 years. Some work in therapy, some work not in therapy, just on my own, as I'm doing my research and gaining an understanding of all of these things. Excuse me. So that work is not light, and all work is accounted for. So when she sits here and she's like, oh yeah, that's that's something that takes people X amount of years to know. You know that part. Well, then I've done my groundwork, but it's not light work at all. It's hard work. And I see it paying off, you know what I mean? So I was talking about reparenting not too long ago. Because like I've said several times, there's parts of me, there's the teenager part of me, there's the inner child part of me, I'm trying to accomplish something. I have a goal, but I've been struggling with this goal because it's not the inner child that I'm fighting. I'm fighting my inner critic, which is a critical parent. And that is something new that I learned recently, trying to reach this goal. What keeps me from reaching this goal? It's the inner critic, which is the inner parent. Now, there is something that I keep talking about in regards to my responses, specifically to Aaron and to G. And I just got this literature, and it does validate the issue that I'm experiencing and that I keep speaking on. Okay. They remain frozen in cycles of repeating childhood reactions. Our loving parent can help thaw our frozen inner children. This is what I'm frozen inner children, so they stop reacting and reenacting past situations and harms. This is the part where I'm stuck at. I won't be for long because now I have the it still goes into reparenting, but we see that I've been doing that. So here is one of those examples of I'm doing the work. There's just no results yet because I reparent myself. I've already talked about this. There's a lot of things that I do on a daily basis for myself to reparent myself. It's just a process. The work is not light. It's not something that's going to change in a year, 5 years. For some people, it's quick. Okay. And for those people, oftentimes what we need to remember is when you have a support system, a strong support system, you can heal things within a year to 5 years. The longer it takes has to do with your support system. And when your support system is doing stuff like telling you to go get on a dick to get over a dick and shit, when your support system is telling you you're incapable of doing shit and you need to be monitored and supervised, that is not a strong support system. So what you're asking me to do in a quick amount of time is impossible. And then you tell me, but you have a support system. This shit ain't light. This is hard work. And my time in therapy and with an actual, because the last year before I got with this therapist, I was sitting with a nurse practitioner on a wait list. So what work can be done during that time? I'm not wasting any time. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just taking time because there's no support system. But I was already on the steps and doing the steps without that guidance. That ain't light work. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm about to, I feel a burnout coming. But I had a really productive 3 weeks. We've got some new things in the house. The house is really over. I've mentioned this because it's really bothering me, but it's overly clean. So now, I've overdone it. Now I have this little standard for myself that I want to, and it'll lead me to a burnout. But I'm gonna try to. The project right now is trying to release the perfectionism behind that, because it's I've done well. I got out of having Aaron's room like perfectly clean all the time, right? He has Legos out, blocks out, toys out, right? That's fine. But now I have to be able to do that around the house. It's okay if I leave that cup there. I mean, there's nothing. I don't even know if you can see it. It just, it looks like this 24/7. You know what I'm saying? That gets stressful because it doesn't really need to look like that. It's just two of us. It couldn't possibly get bad if I leave a fucking dish in the sink. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. Inner child, Thar, frozen inner children. Now, the reason that this is coming back up is because this is actually the smoking issue is not the smoking. Inner child, inner teenager, adult Ashley, we are all in agreement that we are interested in quitting smoking. The problem is the critical parent. Now, these moments of what's the word? It's cognitive dissonance. I'm still dealing with those moments of cognitive dissonance because I had a video not too long ago where I was saying, you know, like my mom never cussed me out or anything. Like, you know, she didn't speak to me the way I speak to my child. Well, doing some work, I've said before, they don't have to talk to us like that. They can cut you down without using cuss words. And that is what I continue to, you know, struggle with. Okay, well, they never cussed at me or anything like that. Yeah, but they would say things like, you're going to be a smoker and you're going to smoke with your kids and you're going to have a hard life and you're going to be just like your mom. She had a lot of kids. You're just going to be just like her. And, you know, you're selfish. Telling me for years how I'm going to struggle to quit smoking when I'm pregnant, and then when I'm struggling to quit smoking when I'm pregnant, and then like calling me selfish when you're jinxing me. This goes back to the discussion. You know, we could keep ruminating on it all we want. You know, we keep ruminating on it all we want, but the facts remain. When we talk about the Bible and do not curse your neighbor and do not speak any foul language, this is the foul language. Okay, why would you be telling your daughter when you find her smoking at 13, 14 years old that she's going to be like her mom and be a smoker and struggle with smoking while she's pregnant, and that's why you have asthma? And why are you talking to her like that? That's denigration. And that denigration has now caused me to make sure in the most sick, twisted way that I do not disappoint. So this is the new work. This is what needs to be done. The issue with me is not about the nicotine. It's about the critical parent and the frozen child. I'm frozen in time, dealing with every time I pick up a cigarette. It's not my voice I hear; it's yours. Then you like shame me for what you spoke into my life as an adult. I'm an adult now, and you shame me for what you spoke on my life. You spoke it into my life. And now we're going to break that stronghold. You guys have a great day.